I'm Raymond. You're watching RPadTV, and Paul has toys today. You got Lego Vader there, which is appropriate because we are taking a walk on the dark side, not the wild side. So Mac and Paul are joining me for a review and discussion of Maul, Shadow Lord, Season 1. Happy Cinco de Mayo, happy May the 4th, and happy Maul review time.
Oh, it's the 5th.
Well, yesterday was May the 4th,
sure.
which was appropriate for Star Wars. Cinco de Mayo is, I guess, appropriate for Star Wars fans somewhere. But let's check in with the boys. Paul, what is going on with you, sir?
Not much. Just out here in usually sunny California.
Yes. Is it sunny and as usual?
No, it's actually a little chilly today.
We actually got rain.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, I was cold yesterday when it was 73. I'm like, yeah. What are these Arctic temperatures? Mac, you had a Pee Wee Herman birthday bash. Are you recovered from your hangover?
I didn't plan on getting really that drunk, but apparently I did. And then, tossed my cookies all night and spent all day Sunday hungover, as one does. And here's to 50.
What was your downfall? Were you mixing liquors? Were you?
No. I was. So I have another neighbor friend, also named Mac, ironically, and he walks up and he's like, "Hey, this is like a pretty decent whiskey. You shouldn't just have this out for everybody." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's just start drinking that." So we just started drinking really good whiskey, and I was slowly drinking that pretty much all throughout the night, which I didn't realize added up. And
yes,
that was the winner.
Was your stomach empty too?
Later on it was.
Not by choice.
No, not by choice.
Yeah.
So otherwise, but yeah, got off to a great start.
Excellent. So Maul Shadow Lord, I have thoughts. Lots of thoughts that are mostly positive and exciting.
Agreed.
Very, very nice May the 4th present for Star Wars fans all over the world. But let's kick things off with our Blue Sky reviews. Let me find yours, Mac. Mac, why don't you kick us off there?
Oh, all right. Well, as is shown on the screen here, mine says, "This is the most I've enjoyed Star Wars in a long time. A long time. Join us as we discuss the new season. It's one of my new favorite Star Wars shows." And that's what it is. This has just been like a out of left field surprise hit for me. It's kind of ticked every Star Wars box I feel like I needed, and the ones that I didn't know that I need.
That is awesome. I love hearing things like that. I love when shows surprise you and they become something very dear.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you got?
Going to the radio voice. Finished watching Maul Shadow Lord. Star Wars' fuzziest ray of sunshine gets his own show, and it's a romantic comedy. Heart emojis. No, this is one of the darker Star Wars shows and stories, and it was all the better for it, given how Maul's going through some shit, and he's not the only one.
He's not. Isn't that like a Sam Smith song or whatever his name is? I forgot what the guy's. My Blue Sky review. While Rebels is my favorite Star Wars animated series, Maul Shadow Lord is objectively better. The writing, acting, and art are streets ahead. Sam Witwer is phenomenal in this role, and I can't wait for more adventures of Maul and Devin. Yeah, so, and I picked the wrong, I picked the Stranger Things overlay. Oops. Wrong franchise.
Looks evil-ish.
Yes. Yeah, that could be Dagobah vines.
Totally.
Instead of the upside down. So I divided this up into sections before the last 2 episodes were out. So it kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't, but let's just roll with it. The thing that struck me most about this show was the art style. I am not an art guy usually, both in terms of movies, comics, because I can't draw for shit. So this stuff is way beyond me. But the art in the show was so striking. From what I understand, some of the backgrounds were actual paintings that they used. and they use that watercolor style, especially in the close-ups. Like when you see a close-up of Maul's face, you could see the textures like they're watercolors, and I just found it so beautiful and striking on top of the advanced animation techniques that we've enjoyed in shows like, you know, Rebels and Clone Wars. I was totally floored by the art. And am I the only one, Paul? What did you think of the art here?
No, I mean what I liked about it was how it was used in the story, how it affected the story. Like there was a lot of dark shadows for Maul to emerge from. Or like the dark colors, and then you get these lightsaber battles that just look fantastic because they're in contrast with what we've, you know, the palette that they've been using.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's lightsabers, like I don't think they were, but it looked like they were even bright on like the brighter settings or something. You know, whether it was the Jedi or Maul's or someone else's.
Right. They also used effects that we didn't see in other cartoons, like when spoilers were jumping in spoiler territory. But when Vader had his lightsaber out, you could see the red reflections on his helmet and his costume, which they didn't really do in other appearances. Like in Rebels, they didn't do that, which I thought also added to the realism and just the overall immersion of the art style. Mac,
So
what
it's
did you
weird.
think?
It's weird to me because overall, I think I really did enjoy the style. Like I thought overall it was very cool, very well done, catchy. But there's one thing that stood out to me, like I had an allergic reaction to it, and I found myself continuing to look for it in every scene, which was among everything else that looked great was the very low rent static backgrounds in a lot of shots. And some of them were like so like kind of shocking, like you could just see like that's not even animated, like there's nothing animated back there, it's just a static background image, it's like a backdrop of like a movie studio.
Right. So those were actual paintings. That they used, and that was really
to
cool.
me, to me a couple of them stood out to the point where I was like, wait, what? Like that, like I felt more like they kind of took like a low rent approach to doing it for like almost like cost savings a little bit. So that was my initial kind of knee-jerk reaction to it. But overall, everything else blended together on top of that, I thought looked fantastic. For all
Yeah.
the same reasons you guys explained. I just thought it was weird to see like cheap static backgrounds.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was purely a cost measure. I'm sure that.
No,
has
I'm not
something
saying
to
it
do
was.
with
In my mind, I'm like, oh, that just has to be the cheaper road than like doing a whole animated backdrop, you know?
I mean, you are correct that it is definitely cheaper, but to me, I think it was a style choice more than anything, and
Probably.
I loved it. I just thought this was the most beautiful animated Star Wars that I've ever seen, and I love the style. So happy.
Do you like this better than you liked the bit? I know it's kind of not apples to apples, but I know that you in the Andor series, right? Not that's what it was called, right?
Yeah.
I know you like the big worlds that they created that actually showed like Star Wars. Did you like what they created in Maul as like a backdrop better than what they created in like the real life like Andor show?
It's kind of different because they used actual locations, like where the Senate was. That's actually in Valencia, Spain.
Sure.
And I want to see that building so badly. That's on my bucket list now to do
Okay.
before I die. But also in Andor, because there are so many locations, whereas in Maul, you're pretty much staying on Janix and in like a shitty part of Janix. So you don't have the variety of locations that most Star Wars shows do. Actually, this was also very different in terms of staying in one location, but also this is essentially a cop show, which I was not expecting at all. Did that aspect of the show surprise you? I mean,
I
Paul,
didn't like Two Boots.
Oh, okay. We'll get more into him later. I thought he was fascinating, but on several levels. But Paul, you're a big police procedural guy.
Yeah, I what I came into this thinking, like, okay, we're gonna see either a story of how he took over Crimson Dawn,
Right.
or maybe they're gonna give us a story of once he's in charge of Crimson Dawn, what happened. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be post Solo. I didn't think that. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be him dealing with Kira, because if they did, I was, you would hope they would get
Khaleesi.
what's her? Yeah, the Khaleesi to be in it. But although they didn't get Paul Bettany, so maybe I'm wrong about hoping for that. But so I wasn't expecting this kind of a story. This sort of Rebels season 7.5 ish kind of thing.
Sort of, kind of, but yeah, I wasn't. I thought it would be more of a Crimson Dawn like mobster kind of thing, but instead it was a cop show, which I thought was a very unique take on this slice of the Star Wars universe. Let's talk about the King, Sam Witwer. He has played Maul for hours and hours, starting with the Clone Wars, going through Rebels, and now in his very own series. I mean, I think he's one of the best voice actors in Star Wars animation. What did you think of his performance, Mac?
I just don't know who else would have been able to deliver the emotional journey that somebody like Maul goes on. Right? Like, I think that's like a tough thing to deliver, and I think Sam Witwer does like an excellent job of, like, just through the voice and the tones and the way he talks and just the mannerisms that all coincide together with it. I think it just delivers like the perfect kind of whole experience of like what Maul brings to the table as a character,
or at least the modern Maul. Because I remember when I first saw him in Clone Wars, I'm like, wow, you're a chatty bitch, aren't you? Like you said 12 words in the Phantom Menace. Now,
right.
Now you can't shut the hell up. But that was quite an adjustment, and I'm sure people that haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, they're like, why is Maul talking so much? But Sam Witwer makes it totally worth it. What did you think, Paul? Did you have any concerns about him being a starring character as opposed to him being a supporting character for a few episodes in Clone Wars or Rebels?
No, because he's always been interesting. I mean, even when he was in the Phantom Menace and you didn't really like get to know him, like, what is he into? What music does he like? What does he like on his breakfast burrito? Yeah. He was still an interesting character, which always made me wonder why they killed him off, especially given that, like, the minute they killed off Boba Fett, George Lucas was like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that.
But the converse of that is the more we learned about Boba Fett, the less interesting he became. Whereas with Maul, I'm just totally more fascinated with this character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Boba Fett show, and I like stuff that we've learned about Boba Fett, so I don't necessarily agree with that. But I just thought it was weird that they would kill him off, and then they got to bring him back, and it's like, okay. So, I mean, and it's not like they were going to get somebody else for this, but it is, I think, because of Sam and his performance and what they got him to do in the previous cartoons, that when they said, oh, we're doing a Darth Maul show, I was like, cool, because not every Star Wars character is interesting enough for their own show,
right? But you never know. Like when they first announced Andor, people were like, who the fuck gives a shit about this guy? He gets his own series, and now that's like my favorite.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with Cassian getting his own show. I mean, like I don't need to see a show with like that little thing that sat on Jabba's lap. You know what I mean?
Oh, the monkey guy, the little
the little monkey dude who laughs a lot.
I don't know.
I don't think he has a rich inner life.
I could watch a half-hour series of just that.
I remember when Solo was first announced, people were making their own Star Wars movie posters, and one of them was a Porkins poster starring what's his face? Who's the fat guy in Superbad?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, they had Jonah Hill as Porkins, and it was Porkins in a Star Wars story.
His whole backstory.
Yeah. I don't know, but
That's funny.
if Paul is so enamored with Boba Fett, I kind of want to give Paul a screensaver of Boba Fett just sleeping in the Bacta tank. Just have that on your screen all day. But yeah, I mean, as good as Sam Witwer has been in Rebels and Clone Wars, he just took it to another level on his own show, and I could not be happier about it. That makes me so thrilled, and I'm so thrilled that we're getting more. But of course, he is a character that we have been watching for years and years. Let's talk about two new characters. The show introduced two new Jedi, or one Jedi Master, one Padawan. They introduced a new race as well, the Mosyk. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Mosyk. That is Daki's race that was original for the show. What did you think of these guys? Let's start with Master Daki, played by the brilliant Pedro Serrano from Major League. I mean, Mac, I know you love this actor.
Yeah, I actually did some work with him too in the past on the video game side of things. Yeah, he did some VO. I think Paul even came and interviewed him at a hotel.
I did interview him, yeah, but I don't remember what that was. Was it? I think it was like Call of Duty, maybe.
Yeah, he became a voice of somebody important in a Call of Duty game, and you came to interview him at a hotel with me.
Nice.
Anyways, so surprise fan favorite characters for me, right? Like, I didn't expect in Maul, I didn't expect the introduction of a whole new Jedi that we knew nothing about in terms of race or anything like that, background, and I didn't expect a new Padawan. And in the Padawan, I didn't expect the Padawan to be so badass. Like, and yes. I think that those couple things have been the most surprising to me along the way, because even if you go into, spoiler alert, you go into the final couple episodes and the lightsaber battles that are happening, Master Daki's fucking rocking it, by the way. They have him, and I think I would suspect that they basically like modeled his race to almost be kind of like, you know, Yoda's Salja, like they're small, they're agile, there's a lot of flips, a lot of twists, a lot of like very like small moves that take kind of advantage of his size that seem to be working. And he held his own against Maul, he held his own against Vader up until the end, he held his own against the Inquisitors. Like, dude, the dude was badass.
Yeah, he's like a reptilian small, not quite Yoda small, but not much bigger. So he has to do like the twirly whirly things that Yoda did. And that was cool as shit to see.
Yeah, and then you could just see how his kind of influence is rubbed off on Devin, but like she's just like I didn't expect, for whatever reason, I didn't expect her to make her so both like older, mentally strong, and physically like capable. Like, again, just as a Padawan facing off against Maul and Inquisitors and even Vader, those are life-ending, you know, choices most of the time, if not all the time.
I was telling,
it just goes to show like how powerful she is.
I was telling Paul that in my head, Ahsoka and Devin were friends at the Jedi Academy, but Devin was always like sneaking under the bleachers to smoke. she wasn't quite as good a student as Ahsoka. So
you're making this up, right?
I'm totally making this up.
Okay.
This is true in my head, but yeah, sure. Devin was a total badass, and I wasn't sure what to expect from the character. And
no,
I was excited that you were so interested in her. And yeah, I totally became fascinated and want to see more of her journey.
Yeah, it just was like again, it was, I think, because the show is so Maul, Shadow Lord, like Maul focused. It's not that you don't get enough of a dose of Maul, but like for the show that's seemingly going to be really, really about him, there's a lot of other stuff going on with these other characters, and they really spend a lot of time like developing them and giving you somebody to care about and that you want to see succeed, you know, and not essentially get off by, you know, before the end of the show.
And I think the show is better for it. Like the middle episodes, there were a few where Maul is only in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, there was even like complaints about like Maul's in, but like all but 7 minutes of the first how many episodes, and you're like, all right.
I don't know. To me, it's almost like Paul and I just did a recording for the Monarch review, Legacy of Monsters. It's kind of like you can't have 90 minutes of all Godzilla. You know, you need like the other people. Like the Godzilla stuff has to be the payoff. Same way, like the fight scenes have to be the payoff, and I think they made it totally worth it in this series. To me, I can understand if someone wanted more Maul and wasn't satisfied.
I don't know how anybody could not be satisfied with the end of the show.
Yeah, Paul, what did you think of these 2 new Jedi?
Okay, so first of all, to go back what Mac was saying, he was the narrator in Call of Duty Finest Hour.
Yes, and I shall say his name, Dennis Haysbert, although in my head he is Pedro Serrano forever. Whereas Carlos called him the All-State guy.
So fuck you, Jobu. I do it myself.
Yeah.
Carlos has a question. Wasn't an alien similar to Daki shown in the pod race in Phantom Menace? Similar but different. Some people were thinking this was another race, but the showrunner said that this race was created for this show. So
he's not the first lizard person that we've seen, because there's also Bosk, the
bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter. What threw me about Daki at first was he looks like a dinosaur, and it just sort of threw me for like a split second, because it made me think of this Star Trek Voyager episode where they meet a race of people that look like dinosaurs, and they figure out that they're actually dinosaurs that left Earth somehow, and over the millions of years evolved into humanoids, which has always fascinated me, because it means that like if the asteroid hadn't hit the Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs, that we might be dinosaur people right now.
I don't know, Paul. I'm gonna disagree with you and call you a dinosaur racist, because not all dinosaurs look the same, man. Like a T-Rex and a Diplodocus look nothing alike. Okay, so I don't know. You're a dinosaur racist, Paul.
Yeah, man, you crossed the line with Ray.
I'm a dinosaurist.
And you're Kamala Khan.
Put me up there with Nick Fuentes.
Yes, you're the Nick Fuentes.
The Nick Fuentes dinosaur.
The dinosaur world's Nick Fuentes. Yes. Yeah,
that should be your new Chiron. And
the Earth should be for mammals, not for lizards.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel a new T-shirt coming on.
Yeah.
Paul, what did you think of Devin?
Anyway, so so to go back to Devin and Daki, like I like the 2 of them a lot. I'm big fan of Dennis Haysbert. I like that he brought a real sort of gravitas to the role.
Yeah. I mean, he has those voices.
I mean, and you mentioned Yoda. He definitely had that like kind of old wise guy going on. I don't mean like wise guy like the mob, but like but just like older, like he's been there. He's like I get the sense that Devin is
like
not
he
his
says
first...
oy vey when he gets off the couch.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of that. I don't think that Devin is clearly not the first Padawan that he's ever had.
This has been like his 50th or whatever.
Yeah. But I also liked how Devin was very much a Padawan. Like, she was unsure of herself and she was conflicted, and because of that, her turn at the end felt real. Like it felt deserved. Like it wasn't like an out of the blue kind of change that you sometimes see in fiction. So
no, I love that she was conflicted about it several times throughout the series. That definitely made it more real and not cliche, as we've seen in many movies and TV shows where they've turned tail.
Yeah.
But do you think she was smoking cigarettes under the bleachers at the Jedi Academy?
Oh, for sure. For sure. While listening to like Joan Jett and Bikini Kill and lots of other bands that don't exist in the Star Wars universe.
And I don't mean to play down her character, but she almost seems like a badass version of Ahsoka, whereas Ahsoka's the good prom queen Jedi Padawan, whereas Devin was the one that was wearing leather and going to like punk concerts.
Yeah, I don't really see Ahsoka as being the prom queen. Like, I don't think of her being that goody or that
different kind of outsiders.
Oh, she got she was on the honors track for sure.
Yeah, but she's on. But there's a difference between like being the prom queen and being, the prom queen is usually like stereotypically the cheerleader,
Yeah, you're right.
maybe the head of the mean girls.
Right.
Ahsoka wasn't. Ahsoka was more like not the smartest in the school, but like within the smart kids. So.
Yeah, she had a good balance of grades, extracurriculars, all that.
I like how we're doing like how does this align with Mean Girls?
Yeah. She's definitely going to like Columbia or NYU. She's not going to Princeton, but she's also not going to Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Devin's going to a state school.
All of us were happy with the 2 new characters. Let's talk about 2 characters we've seen before, but not a ton of. And also, to quote the immortal Mel Brooks, the Inquisition. Let's begin.
The Inquisition.
So we've seen these characters before. The 11th brother, the one that looks like a owl or raven, as some call him. He was in Tales of the Jedi. He gets killed by Ahsoka. And Merrick we've seen in the Ahsoka live action series, who was really cool until he died and became a green fart. So,
flew away.
Yeah. So now we got to see more of them. I was very happy we got to hear Merrick. I don't think he said anything in Ahsoka, did he?
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
But then the other guy does die at the hands of Ahsoka outside of the series.
Yes.
He fled like a bitch.
Yeah. But it was the Tales of the Jedi, those shorts, those like 10-minute cartoons.
Yeah.
These guys have cool designs, and none of them became green farts, so that's already a plus.
That was a plus.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought these guys, they looked cool and they had badass fight scenes. What did you think, Mac?
Yeah, agree. Like, and I think getting one Inquisitor, I was already happy, right? Like, I was like, okay, like I get it. This is gonna be fun. And then sure enough, they brought another one in, and it was a very cool way to try and like balance out showing off how strong Maul can be on his own.
Right.
Like, aside of the surprise, cameo towards the end, which I wasn't really expecting, but like I thought this alone was enough to like really kind of like be a challenge for Darth Maul, and then also for Devin to help and Master Doki. Like this is a lot to handle, and it was. And then you add in a whole nother layer on top of that of dark side force stuff, and it was a good ending.
What did you make of these characters, Paul?
I like both of them. Like it was like Max said, it was cool when you had one, you're like, okay, and then like the second one shows up, and it's like, oh, now this shit's on. It's funny, like I was not thinking that Vader was gonna show up, but when he did, I was like, oh yeah, that's obvious, because there's one. It's Darth Maul is like that loose end that the Emperor wants to get rid of.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the series wound up, like being a bit, he really wants to get rid of Maul, and
that was the bigger meta story.
Yeah. But the two of them, what I liked about the two of them is when you watch them fight, they don't have the same fighting style.
Right.
In the same way that Doki and Devin don't have the same fighting style. And so when you saw the two of them fighting alongside each other, they worked well together, but it was very different. So it was cool to see them fight. In fact, I would argue that this probably has some of the best lightsaber fights we've ever seen.
Oh, the choreo is amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the one at the end when after, you have Vader, 2 Jedi, Maul, 2 Inquisitors, and then you have all these stormtroopers shooting at them at the same time.
Right. And I love the way it was cut too, because it can't be all lightsaber scenes. I love how it cut between that, the firefighting.
Right. I love the scene in the underground thing where they had to jump over the like toxic lava.
Right.
And it was just, and then they finally kind of made it all across. There was a break in the action. You're like, okay. And then they get it out to the next kind of section and then it kicks up again. But they did a really good job of like, not just making it redundant and repetitive, right? Like everything like seemed like deliberately like you said, choreographed for a reason and really showed off again some of the best you can't ask for better lightsaber duels than what we got.
No. And they're so good that it demands a rewatch. There are so many little subtle animations like in between swings that are just so incredible that might be impossible in real life, but you can get away with it in animation. Like Devin does this little flip when her and Maul are fighting Vader, where she blocks and she flips to change her position, and it's so cool. I thought I saw it, but then I'm like, no, I got to rewind it. Did that happen? And then, whoa, that did happen.
I think one of the coolest moments in the entirety of it all is when Maul breaks his dual lightsaber in half and throws half to Devin. And that was just like, okay, like that was fucking rad.
Yeah, that works on several levels. Like the whole turning Devin to the dark side. It's practical. I do want to give a quick shout out to the sound design. One of the things they added for Maul's lightsaber, when he activates it, one of the sounds that's overlaid is Sam Witwer screaming as Maul. So when he activates it, you hear that every time. Very cool. They pulled a lot of music, if only for 3 or 4 seconds, from the Phantom Menace. A lot of the same sound effects. It was just, sound design was really, really well done. Very incredible.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was interesting watching the lightsaber fight when Vader was there was how, in some ways, he was kind of toying with them, especially at first. Like he was literally, it was almost like he put one hand behind his back and he was like,
yeah,
whack,
he was just one-handing it with his left hand, you know,
like he was just like kind of like, it was almost like he was feeling him out. Like, okay, let's see what this. Okay, they favor their left arm. Okay.
Right.
They do the carbonite maneuver, like, okay, and and then even at some points he was just like, it wasn't even like a sword fight. It was like he was just
bashing the shit out of them. Yeah, like
I was reading something about that earlier, and it was just saying that like they're trying to showcase the full power of not only just Vader as Anakin as Force Jesus, as you called him earlier, Ray.
Yes.
But like just the fact that that's paired with like the absolute premium best of droid electronics that like the Imperial had to offer. So it's the strength of whatever droid is making up Vader's body plus the Force. So that's why he's just so fucking powerful when he's swinging the lightsaber down at everybody. They can't really do anything about it.
And it was such a great contrast to Maul's fighting style, which has more flips and flamboyant moves. Yeah. Whereas Vader's is more, it's all about efficiency. He only moves when he absolutely has to. Mac, it almost reminds me of how Thrag fights in Invincible. He's just like,
yeah, a little bit.
Like, no, just moves out of the way.
But I think that I agree, because like I remember specifically what Paul's talking about, and that was really reminiscent of that opening sequence with Thrag, and just done just to show how much like as powerful as Maul and everybody else on the set is, like just how far above Vader is in terms of power set and just like skill with the like they really established that right almost immediately out of the gate with that.
Yeah, and even Maul's kind of freaked out. He's like, "What are you?"
Yeah, because I mean, he can sense he's powerful as fuck, right? Yeah. So it's just like,
but you see him piece it together later, and he doesn't say it outright, but I think he figures out it's Anakin after a while, because he knows Anakin's
pissed because he tried to kill him as a kid.
Yeah. So I think that's the same time, the first time they've been together since Tatooine. They were on that Sith planet on Rebels at the Sith temple, but they weren't fighting at the same time. Like Maul was there and Vader was there, but they were in different fights. Right. So I think this was the first time, until kid Anakin like fucked off in the shuttle when Maul was coming after him. And then let's talk about Maul's crew. You can't be a crime lord without a crew. We had Rook Cast, who is a Mandalorian that some people thought somehow became the armorer, but apparently that's not the case.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Technically.
We didn't see the body for her or Lawson. More spoilers. We had a pair of Zabrak brothers, Icarus and Scorn. We had a bunch of other random Mandos that were in it for the money and eventually decided to
bail.
Yeah. It's like, not worth it. And then we had Spybot. We'll talk more about him specifically later. But Paul, what did you think of this Shadow Collective crew?
I mean, most of them didn't make much of an impact except for Spybot, which we'll get into. The only one that really stuck out for me, and not in a good way, was the one who kind of looked like the Crooklyn version of Maul. Like, I was like,
oh, the brothers.
Well,
yeah.
Well, one of them was like red, and he had like obviously he's still concerned about catching. Yeah, that guy. The guy with
COVID
the face
mask on.
He's got his COVID mask on. I mean, I'm all for masking up for COVID or not COVID, whatever. But like, I don't know. Like when I would see him, I'd be like, Maul. Oh wait, no, it's not Maul. Like there was always that like thing.
He was a little more orange than red.
Yeah.
His brother was more distinctive.
Yeah.
I think, and I think that's. I mean, just from a design perspective, I wanted him to be just look a little less like Maul.
I mean, I love the way Icarus went out in the finale, where he takes down a bunch of troopers and just dives into the acid, dirty, toxic pool or whatever it is. I want to call it dirt lava because I don't know what it actually was, but
it was just toxic waste.
Yeah, I love the way he went out. The background for these characters, it was actually a story that Filoni wrote for the Clone Wars, but I don't think it ever made it to the series, where they had Mother Talzin command all the Zabraks to serve Maul, and these guys are, the leftover remnants of that. Mac, what did you think of the Shadow crew?
I thought it was cool, just like the way they all mattered. Like they really did give them all enough screen time, and like at least the key characters of the crew, to like really kind of like make you care. And at the end, that like I gotta be honest, I didn't expect the whole crew to die.
Same,
right?
Same.
Like, and I thought that was like, oh wow, okay, that happened. Oh, again, and like you're just like, okay, well then they're setting something else up for obviously something else later on where Maul is now on his own and not in charge of this crew but going to the I'm drawing a blank on the name now.
Right, but I was surprised when they all died because I thought, I'm like, he's gonna be a crime lord. He needs his
But
crew.
what I liked about that though is when they did show them all die, they also showed that it affected Maul. Like, he actually took it to heart, which was interesting to see.
Even Spybot made him.
Spybot's death made me sad. I was like, no, that was like the coolest fucking character in the show. Angry, like absolutely evil, bad droid. Oh, that was great. That talked like one of the evil Decepticon Transformers.
Oh, he did talk like one of those guys. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, initially I was surprised that they killed his entire crew, but later in the finale, I was like, well, if they're making season 2 more about Maul and Devin, that should be the focus.
Yeah, he can't have all this other baggage to be dealing with.
Exactly. We can't have these ancillary Mandalorians just taking up space. But we have lots more to talk about, especially more about Vader. But guys, I wanted to make sure you follow Mac on Blue Sky. There's his. You can get a direct link in the Facebook and YouTube descriptions. But if you sent him either some naughty Star Wars fan fiction or a drawing of said naughty Star Wars fan fiction, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Paul, what do you got going on your website?
It's just a metric ton of stories this week. I don't know why there's so many book stories, couple good video game things. On the video game front, I got a review of Mouse PI for Hire,
Whoa.
So it is a Doom / Quake-ish first-person shooter, but it is also inspired, as you can tell, by like cartoons from like the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah, like 30s Mickey Mouse style.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the old
Steamboat
Popeye
Doom.
Like the
cartoons,
Teapot
Steamboat Willie.
and,
Yeah. But it's also inspired by noir movies. So you play like a
Huh.
detective and like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It does start a little slow because at first your guns are not very like powerful and they're not very quick, and you know, you're facing off against like rats that have like machine guns, and it's kind of, you know, whatever. But once you kind of eventually you get to upgrade your weapons, and then like it gets a lot better. So yeah, it's all kinds of crazy. That's a robot rat, and there's like all kinds of different mice, anamorphic
Was that,
rats.
is that
and mice.
blood or oil?
In that case, I think it's oil, but like there's definitely like you blow like guys' heads off and like
Whoa.
and do all kinds of stuff. And like there's a whole mechanic where there's all, as in all video games, there's like barrels of explosive liquid just lying around.
what is this
And-
called?
Mouse PI for hire.
All right. I'm gonna have to check
But the
this
cool
out.
thing is, like with the barrels, you can like kick them, and like they'll blow up on, like you can kick them at people and they'll blow up, and yeah, it's all kinds of crazy. So
What
that
platforms is this available on?
Xbox, PlayStation 5, PC, and I think maybe Switch 2, but I don't
Interesting.
remember off the top of my head. I think it is Switch 2, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
This looks super
So-
fun.
Yeah, there's some crazy. If you go to the review, there's a lot more images from the game, and you can also see like some footage of it in the commercial that I did for it. So, yeah. So there's that, and then that's like an echo for me. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to highlight is this book by Nevo, A Long and Speaking Silence. This is the latest installment in her cozy fantasy series, The Singing Hill Cycle, which is about this cleric named Chi and this memory spirit that takes the shape of a bird called Almost Brilliant. And it's very, very interesting and weird. And like I said, this is the 7th installment. So I actually decided with this interview to go back to the beginning about, like, you know, why is cleric Chi the way they are, and you know, why is Almost Brilliant in the shape of a hoopty, which is a kind of bird, even though it's a memory spirit. So it's all very strange.
Is that the bird at the top in the middle there?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Because I'm
Those are
getting
hands.
no, like in between the hands. I'm like, is that like the female reproductive organ? Like, because I see fallopian tubes and stuff.
I don't, maybe. I'm going to look up what a hoopty looks like.
Yeah, you're gonna get a whole bunch of cars.
It's a bird. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That's a weird looking bird. Okay. Yeah. No, that looks more like the crow guy from Darth Maul. So, but yeah, so it's a really cool, very cool series. It's not like the Lord of the Rings. It's not like the stakes are high. There's not a lot of action. It's much more of a sort of cozy, it's a good book to kind of, they're all very short too. So it's like kind of a good book to kind of put on a rainy afternoon and just kind of casually go through it.
What's the bird called again?
Almost Brilliant.
No, the
type.
species.
Oh, the type. Hoopty.
Okay, because I'm thinking of like Humpty, pronounced with an umpty. All you rappers in the top 10, allow me to thumpty.
Oh, God.
You got to do the Humpty dance.
Oh, man.
I haven't heard that song. And
What was that guy's name?
the band was Digital Underground, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I forgot what his name. Like, his name was Humpty.
What was that
Pronounced
movie that they
Humpty.
were in with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd?
They were in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh, they were. Shock G. That was the name of the guy.
Shock G was.
Yeah, they were in a
Humpty?
terrible
Yeah.
movie with like Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy.
It sounds like we got to review this movie.
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble. Demi Moore.
What? Oh
Yes. Chevy
It's a-
Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Demi Moore, Taylor Negron. Brian Doyle Murray.
I like
It
Taylor
was-
Negron. That guy cracks me up.
It's literally like a really bad, low budget, weird.
It's like people get lost somewhere and they end up in this weird town and like
Hills Have Eyes, kind of.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember this like being in cable rotation when I was.
yeah, it's like an HBO staple. And Dan Aykroyd has like a penis for his nose and like
yeah, it comes off. And then there's two fat guys that are like twins.
I mean,
That
there's
wear
so much
diapers.
talent in this that how can it be so bad?
because
it's-
of the talent, the studio didn't kind of step in and go, no, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, maybe
It's like
don't make
Hudson
this
Hawk.
movie.
It's like, when Bruce Willis, had all that power and he made Hudson Hawk, and everybody's like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
why we don't leave you
it's
people
like they
alone.
tried to make like a Goonies adventure for adults.
Oh,
That's a great way to put it.
did Humpty actually act, or was he just there for a cameo?
No, he was like
He had a role.
part of it's like Dan Aykroyd's weird penis nose old guy character is like the judge of this like shitty little fucking hillside town that everybody gets lost in, and so the Humpty Digital Underground Band is like the case that's in the court before Chevy Chase's and Demi Moore's characters have to appear in court because they got pulled over for speeding.
That might be
Right.
the most ridiculous sentence I've heard this year, and I love it.
Yeah, this is I don't even know. Like again, back to like this movie should not even exist.
Yeah.
like,
It sounds like we're all making this up. This is like really bad improv. Like,
No,
so
it's-
Humpty is with Dan Aykroyd, and
yeah,
Demi
and then
Moore.
there's like a whole musical interlude where they do the Humpty dance and talk about and then it cuts to and scene and then the next scene.
Okay,
So-
this sounds amazing. Like
I
amazing.
can't, but I'm literally mystified that you haven't seen this.
I probably have and just couldn't remember it because it was so
Yeah.
bad. But we'll see.
Yep, it's up there. Yeah, I think like that Onyx movie that I told you about is going to
Yeah.
be in the same wheelhouse of terribleness.
So, guys, if you want to read the full Mouse PI review or read more about this book with Humpty pronounced with an Humpty, go to paulsemel.com. There's a direct link in the Facebook and YouTube descriptions. You know what you should do? You should like and subscribe this video. That's what a good Jedi would do. And you'd also wear this RPadTV shirt. You can get these on Amazon.com. We have a wide variety of shirts that you see here, including this one for Star Wars fans, showing that you have friends everywhere. Just go to Amazon, search for RPadTV, pick up a nice shirt for you or someone you love.
I have this shirt in jumpsuit orange.
Aha, because orange is the new Mac. And you can get this tumbler that Paul is rocking right now. Now back to our show. Guys, let's talk about the droids in Maul Season 2. We had 2 new additions, Two Boots and Spybot. Mac already said that he did not like Two Boots.
Two
We'll get
Boots
to
was a
that.
bitch.
So I like that he is, well, first of all, it never occurred to me to have a droid as a police partner. I always think of droids in Star Wars as servants, like R2 fixes shit, C3PO translates shit. But he was actually like, like your rookie police partner. So in this context, I thought he was really interesting. I love that he was like a by the books cop. And then even up into the end, when they're fighting in the sewage, he wanted to report an illegal dumping and like,
And he's like, maybe not the best priority right now.
but I like that he figured it out and he evolved, which, over the course of however many days this was impressive for a droid. C3PO has been the same bitch for like 40 years in
Yeah.
the movies we watch. Why
But
didn't you
they
like
did
Two
do a
Boots?
good job of delivering on that. C3PO was a bitch. This other droid is going to be a bitch too. Like they really kind of gave it a good like kind of level set playing field for me on that front. So, but yeah, I really didn't like the constant by the book, have to do it by the book, and then like. I did think it was funny though, like when they took his boots away because it wasn't like standard issue,
That was his
attire.
first clue.
So I thought that was funny that they punished him by taking away his boots, and his character was still named Two Boots.
Yeah. because his call sign is TBOT or whatever.
Yeah, TB00TZ.
Ah. But Spybot, you were a fan of. He seems more up your alley.
But Spybot was like literally the evil transformer from like either it was the bird one, but like it was I thought it was just cool, and he talked a bunch of shit the whole time. Like and then like it was kind of funny. It was almost like Gargamel's Azrael, right? like because like you can see when he finally like got cut in half and fell into the sludge volcano dirt, and like again, it really affected Maul. Like he was sad he lost his cool droid.
Yeah, that was almost like a pet. Like Maul would pet him like a cat or something, which I always thought was a little weird, but kind of endearing at the same time. You know how I was saying that Ahsoka and Devin were like classmates? Like in my head, Two Boots and Chopper are friends, but Chopper was like nice enough to just be a good guy, whereas Two Boots was the other side of that coin, where he was like, nah, screw this. I'm just going to be an asshole. Go full asshole on it. But Paul, what did you think of these droids?
I mean, I thought it was interesting that Two Boots was clearly like comic relief in the beginning.
And family.
But then he became like an impediment, an inadvertent impediment, like to his human partner and stuff. And like, and then had, of course, that turn. I thought that was interesting. And I like the guy who did his voice. Like, I like that guy. So
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, he was good in it. And then Spybot was just hilarious. To me, Spybot like reminded me of Stitch, sorry, from Lilo and Stitch. Like in fact, I even looked him up because I was like, is that the same guy? Like it sounded like him, and he had that same like sort of anarchy to him, like that sort of like I don't think that Spybot realizes that he's a bad guy, but he just does all these bad things. Like he has
just
no
a real
control.
Piece of shit droid at heart.
Yeah.
Like I like when Spybot was when he found Maul again, he was also with Lawson and Daki, and he was happy to see Maul. When he sees Daki, he's like filthy Jedi, and then when he sees Riley, like stupid human, and he shoves him. I think doesn't he like shove Riley?
Yeah, I think so.
I love that, and that was like in a span of 10 seconds. I love that he got those 3 greetings in. Very, very cool. The humans on Janix, there were a bunch of them. I mean, Lawson, I thought was a very interesting character. Well, first off, do you guys think Lawson's dead? I mean, he should be dead after that, but we never see a body.
Well, I mean, so far as we know, he got shot multiple times with not stun shots.
Yeah.
Like, he got lasered a few times. And, like, he's not like one of, I forget what the race the Maul and the brothers were. Like, I know they're a little bit more robust when it comes to, like, getting shot with a laser. Yeah. And they can take a couple of those before they're considered dead. But it sounds like I didn't expect this to be part of the end of the show either, to be honest. But I was surprised they offed him at the end. And Ray, you just froze. Oh no, you're back. But then but I'm pretty sure he's dead based on the amount of times they just visually showed him getting shot.
Right. I mean, if we compare that to Rook Cast, who we just hear making screaming sounds.
Oh my God!
Yeah. We don't know it's Vader. We think she's getting attacked by animals.
Maybe
but then
she tripped.
Vader comes out of the fog. It's like, oh, yeah, she's dead. We had some interesting humans. We had the criminal lady, Rena Soul, who was played by Pamela Adlon, who is the mother of the voice actor that played Devin. So that was kind of cool to have like a mother-daughter combo in this. We had other police officers, none of whom looks like they survived. There's this one scene where it made me wish Star Wars had cursing, where I think it's episode 6, where Lawson goes back to his apartment and then he finds out that Riley is hiding Daki and Devin. Like I wanted Lawson so badly to be like, "Oh fuck my life."
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck.
that would have
They
been.
kind of need to do. I mean, there's a little bit of it here and there, but they kind of need to do what Battlestar Galactica did.
Oh, and
I
Where
just
they were
create.
started. I
like,
literally just started watching that.
yeah, but like especially if you go back to all the way to the original one, like in Battlestar Galactica, they were like, well, okay, these people have to curse,
Mhm.
but we can't have them
Frack.
say fuck on television, so we're gonna make frack.
Yeah.
And frack has become like I say frack all the time now. Like,
Yeah.
and there isn't really like a Star Wars version of a curse word.
Ah.
I mean, I think there's like been like little hints of it here and there. Like Nerf herder is like kind of an insult, but like not, it's
Not
not
as
like
impactful as frack or
no. Although on Family Guy they had when they did the parody of Star Wars, they did a really funny thing where like Princess Leia calls Luke a Nerf herder and Han Solo gets mad at it and she's like, "You can't use that word. That's our word." Like,
I
but, like,
my favorite part of that, by the way, is when the guy's just like, he's like, you're like, where he shoots the lasers. Like, what are we paying by the laser? And he's like, you don't do the budget, Dave. The
Yeah.
Death Star.
yeah.
Carlos
But like
points out
they
that
need like oh yeah.
Lawson is played by the guy that played Pablo Escobar in Narcos. I did not
Yeah.
know that because
Yeah, I thought he was that guy was really good at the voice. I love that they gave him like the cop mustache.
Yes, yes,
You know?
And a bad relationship with his son.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
But it was just funny that they were like, okay, he's the cop, he's got a cop mustache.
and isn't
Even
I believe his ex-wife was played by Tamlin Tomita, if I'm not mistaken. She was only in it briefly. Oh, Carlos brings up poodoo. That is a swear word.
Yeah,
It's,
poodoo,
yeah.
but
Oh,
poodoo
poodoo.
seems
That's
like
kind of like,
That's shit.
poodoo's like poop.
Yeah,
It's like a
Like
kid's word for
it's more
poop.
of like a eat shit.
yeah.
Like we need like a like something like a frack, something that
Yeah, guys.
like you'll get in trouble if you're a kid and you say,
Leave your suggestions in the comments section for the Star Wars equivalent of the F word and the C word, because I want to see what you come up with, if anything.
We need content for another episode.
This is a worthy pursuit. I think it's really important.
made up curse words in science fiction shows.
Yeah.
Act 1, Feldecarb.
So let's talk about the finale, which was way beyond what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up that they were setting a trap for Vader when the Inquisitors like let him know they're on their way to him? Like I had no idea. But then again,
I didn't know if it was going to be him or like the Emperor making a cameo.
right. Like some people point out that Filoni uses Vader as his get out of jail free card to make something cool. Like he did that in Rebels.
Okay.
In the Obi-Wan series, of course, Vader was massive in that. But I don't know. I love that we got Vader in the finale. And as mentioned, the way he fought was really cool. His presence, it was almost like a Friday the 13th movie or something like that. How, like when he punched through the wall to grab them, like the way he was stalking them, it felt very much like an old school horror movie. Paul, what did you think of this portrayal of Vader in the finale?
Like I said before, when he showed up, I was like, oh, obviously, like the Emperor is going to send him in to take him out. I thought it was really interesting that he didn't say anything.
Yes, he didn't say a single word.
And the thing is,
cool.
They paid James Earl Jones good money and had him come in and record a whole bunch of stuff. And they have like a license with him, so they can use his voice for Vader whenever they want. They can have him say what, like literally, like Vader
They've got
can
all
get
the
up,
words recorded.
yes, and say, this week on the 4:30 movie,
or
Lord
like when Docky cuts him, he'd be like, "You reptile bitch!" like
they could have, and they didn't, and they literally Vader was just like smacking people.
I thought it was the better
force.
Yeah. The only thing I would have liked to have seen was him actually killing Daki.
They did show that.
I mean, they got
they cut away and then they cut back, and he's obviously been stabbed. You don't actually see him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Stabbing, but that's
But we do see him. We do see Maul bowing out of that fight, and we do see. I think Lawson sees Maul backing out of that fight. I don't think Devin saw it because that might have changed things for her. What did you think of Vader's presence, and did it surprise you, Mac?
I feel like by the time we got to the episode before the finale, like it was clear what was coming, and then but like it was a pleasant surprise. I think I even texted you. I was like,
"You did."
The first time we've seen Vader talk to like Maul together, and you're like, "Yep." And I was like, "Okay, I thought so." Just making sure because this is super cool.
Yeah,
and
it was like playing with action figures because we never saw this.
It really
fight.
was, and it just did it in a way. And I think we've talked about this, enough already. But like that, like the different fighting styles, just the different kind of set pieces they threw together to kind of let them all battle and break the battles up into these 2 versus these 4 versus these 2 versus these 3. Like they really did a good job of making it feel not just a whole bunch of redundant laser swords.
Yeah.
Every moment kind of mattered. It was just really well done. And again, it's interesting to see what I always perceived as Maul would be a very powerful, even if he's not as powerful as Anakin. I always felt like Maul would be closer in terms of power. He was already, an apprentice of the Emperor. I felt like he might have been a little bit more powerful when it comes to going head to head against Vader.
Well, depends on his midichlorian count.
That's not the case. So it was interesting to see that, and they really showed how much Vader, just his presence as Force Jesus, just stressed Maul to the fact where he was more just trying to escape the fight than fight the fight.
Exactly. He was in survival mode.
Yeah.
He had this one thing with his mechanical leg where because it got damaged in a previous fight, but he kept shaking it. And I kept waiting for him to do the full Michael Jackson.
I thought he was trying to spin. I thought he was trying to do the Henry Cavill, punch reloading his hands kind of thing.
Yeah. But Carlos brings up Maul was kind of hindered by his robotic legs taking hits.
Yeah, that seemed to be his big weakness, right? Was just just hit him with the legs.
But even if his leg was 100%, I still think Vader clowns him at this stage. And Carlos was not surprised. He says he always knew it was going to be Vader. Interesting. I like that. I was surprised. How do you think the finale worked in terms of wrapping up the series as a whole, Paul? Or the season as a whole, I should say.
Good. I mean, the one thing that I thought, and I didn't realize it until I got to those last 2 episodes, was I think I'm going to enjoy this show more when I can watch it all in a row.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like I tend to watch shows 2 episodes at a time. I think I'm going to enjoy it more when I'm watching 2 episodes every day for 5 days, as opposed to 2 episodes every week for a month and a half.
Yeah, I agree. It's a better experience when you can just kind of get through 2 or 3 at a time.
It wasn't episodic, in to use the TV term. It felt like a one long good story.
Mm-hmm.
I did like how this brought it didn't feel like an ending. It felt like the end of a first chapter, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where they go, because we said earlier, it all takes place in the same planet, and now they're gonna go somewhere else and do something else.
In terms of pacing out a story and moving on, giving you enough points of closure.
I have lost sound. Well, that's no good.
Oh, can you still hear me, Paul? Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Paul. Why don't you read that comment?
I agree with Paul. Kiss ass. Need a full season drop They can also expand the episode length too, instead of double episodes. That's an interesting idea. Then we
And now
lost
Raymond
again.
died.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like I think that the. I don't know if I would like it if it was a double long episode.
I was gonna go back to like what I was saying before. I feel like as a season of a show and the amount of stuff and doors that they opened, they really did an excellent job of pacing out the story to like close enough doors at the end of the the finale to where it does feel like, okay, like I feel fulfilled and satisfied with the season and everything they gave us. But at the same time, I'm also very excited for what the next season's going to bring, because they really did do a good job teeing up the Maul and Devin like is going to be season 2.
Yeah. Like you definitely want there to be a season 2. Like you want to know what's going to happen. Like it wasn't like say for example the TV show 24, where when you got to the end of the season you were like, well, if this is the end, this is the end. It felt but at the same time it wasn't like what they used to do, where they would like end the season on a cliffhanger and then you have to wait like all summer for the show to come back. So and supposedly we're not going to have to wait that long for season 2. So
it's cool.
Sorry about those technical glitches.
If Devin's life choices were either stripper or Jedi, I think she made the right choice.
Oh man, I forgot to use this.
You joke about that, but there's been a lot of talk online about whether she's going to turn into a very specific character from the now disavowed extended universe. I think her name is Darth Maladi or something like that.
No, Darth Talon.
Oh, it's Darth. Yeah. Okay, so there's 2 of them then that are it could be. But like it's funny because every image that I saw of Darth Talon in relation to the story, like literally was like her with like big stripper tits and
I mean there's a lot of fan drawings that kind of exaggerate that.
But even ones that weren't from the comic books where like
she does look like a stripper Jedi with Maul's colors. So yeah.
Do you have a picture of her anywhere, Raymond?
I think I texted you one. If I'm
you did. I was if you're gonna pull it up and show.
I did not. I could not find a high res one enough for that. But yeah,
I kind of don't want her to be that though.
Yeah, I mean, I want her to do her own thing, or
exactly
make her a new Darth Talon, because Darth Talon is fighting like Luke's grandkid or whatever. So she's that far into the future.
Right, but they can move people around. I mean, they did that with the blue guy. I was about to call him General Thanos, but that's not the guy's name.
The blue guy.
The blue guy.
The piano player and the cantina
from the Ahsoka show.
I'm just kidding.
Zeb?
Oh, no, Zeb, yeah.
The Imperial.
The Imperial blue guy. Oh, Thrawn.
Thrawn, yeah. Like originally Thrawn doesn't show up until long after. It doesn't show up until after the Empire is destroyed.
Right, but he exists though. He was banished because the Emperor was racist, and he's like, get your blue ass to the Outer Rim.
Right.
But whereas Darth Talon didn't exist wouldn't exist in this.
But what I'm saying is they can easily, because they're not. Because they don't have to adhere to what was present before with Talon, they can do whatever they want. I mean, they could make her like a huge Rush fan, and like so they could move her around. I just feel like I would rather like them create an original character.
Yeah, I agree too. Although I don't know enough about Darth Talon. I didn't read all of those books because I didn't think Cade Skywalker was that interesting. Like, whereas with Thrawn, that's something I wanted that character to be in the proper Star Wars universe for forever.
I mean, I don't even they call her Darth Talon. I just don't. I mean, like, I don't want her to get like a whole bunch of tattoos,
right?
And sports bra and stuff. Get her.
So let's close things out with this and talk about what we want for season 2? Do we want to see Kenobi? Do we want something new? Do we want it to be more about Devin's fall from grace? Because at this point, I'm more fascinated with Devin than I am with Maul. Because we've had a lot of great Maul stories to enjoy. Of course, I want to watch Sam Witwer perform, but I really am curious to see what happens with Devin. Like, will her descent into the dark side be complete? Will she rebel again, or will she just die? And Paul is giving a thumbs up mentally. That was interesting. You had your thumb up, and it made the.
I saw it too.
Yeah, it made that appear.
Oh, I didn't even try to do that. That was.
Oh, I have it as a thought bubble, like right next to your head. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, he's using the force to activate it. Mac, what do you want?
What happens if I do this?
Nothing.
All right.
What do you want from season 2, Mac?
I think I'm in agreement. I want to see the continued journey of Devin, but without Master Doki and Daki, and then also like just see where she goes and if she's strong enough with her own kind of core set of values that she can kind of use the best of both worlds, or if she's going to go totally dark and become what you were talking about before.
Now, when you said strong enough, I thought of that Boy Genius song and saw a Devin montage taking place to Strong Enough.
Yeah. And then I think, like, so what can they do in a season 2 of this show that will be as meaningful as an impact and impactful as giving us the first ever like real fight sequence between Vader and Maul? Like, what are they going to bring in a second season that's going to deliver that? And I challenge that same thing to like Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Like, what are they going to bring and deliver in that movie that's going to be as big as giving us Vader versus Maul for the first time?
Yeah, I don't know how you top that. That's
a tough one, right? And like, so it's a challenge. I'm excited to see if both of those are going to be able to solve in the future. But that's so again, you just said it earlier. Does adding Obi-Wan into the mix next season, is that like the big like, oh holy shit thing that's going to happen? It could be, but how they do it, I don't know. It's the timeline is still like really, really mixed in my head, so I'm trying to figure out where everything fits in and who's what age and where and all that stuff.
I mean, there's not a ton of time left between where this season ends to where Maul, more spoilers, to where Maul dies on Tatooine. So I don't know, somewhere between then, or he has to become a crime lord again. I don't know. Paul,
when does Maul die on Tatooine?
Oh, that's a
Thursday.
Fantastic Rebels episode, I think in season 3. But yeah.
Okay.
Carlos adds
it's before A New Hope, but not long before, and it's after the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, so Obi-Wan is old and gray already at this point. Carlos says it's going to be interesting to see Maul training an apprentice because he was a terrible mentor when he found Ezra. I don't know if he was genuinely trying to be a mentor to Ezra, though. I think he was just trying to manipulate him to get the Sith holocron. Continuing, I can see Devin leaving Maul because she sees the errors of her way, if not by the end of season 2, close to the end of the series.
Yeah, that all tracks.
Yeah, but I think there would have to be another light side character to bring her back. Like, I don't know if she gets there on her own.
I think I know. I think I got it.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Season 2 is about her continuing to fall to the dark side, and Maul continuing to manipulate his way into the leadership of Crimson Dawn. And at some point, they have a run-in with Ahsoka. But it doesn't work. Devin stays with them, and then they end the series in season 3, ultimately with Maul getting into a fight with Palpatine.
Oh.
Which obviously comes to a draw, but that's how, and then that leads to him going after Kenobi.
I like the first half. The second half, I think the Emperor fucks him up, because if he can't even deal with Vader,
Yeah.
Palpatine would just. So, I mean, there are ways to write around
but
that.
that gives him a good reason to go after Kenobi, because he's like, I wouldn't be this fucked up if it wasn't for fucking Kenobi. I'm gonna go get him.
I think he already had a reason of being cut in half by Kenobi.
Right, but I mean,
this all started.
Yeah.
But I think, but I think it depends if they're planning to do 3 seasons of this, or if they're just gonna, or if they want to do more, or if they want to do less. Do they want to end it in season 2? I don't know.
Right.
Or do they do 2 seasons in a movie? Because they have to explain how because the thing is, a lot happens between the end of this first season and when we next see him
in Solo.
In Solo, and then again from Solo to when he gets killed by Kenobi. So
yeah, those are 2 pretty big leaps right there.
Yeah,
so,
but it's Filoni, so he'll want to try and bring Ahsoka in, because he always does. I think they could also bring Asajj Ventress into this, because she's always kicking around.
That's interesting.
But
Quinlan Voss is still around. That's one of Carlos's favorite guys.
Right. There's a lot of people kind of kicking around. It's funny too, because I saw this thing that people were talking about, and they were like, how the hell are there always so many Jedi? Like, how bad was Order 66 implemented? And then somebody kind of pointed out, you don't know how many, the universe is huge. You don't know how many Jedi there were. If there were 15,000 Jedi and you killed 99 of them, there's still,
a few.
Yeah, there's still a couple hundred of them running around. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we're gonna get the Star Wars Cal Kestis Jedi 3 game.
I always call them Cal Testes.
Cal Testis.
That's true. That's true. I wonder when they're going to start incorporating, whether that's. I mean, I know there's that 3rd game's in the works. I wonder,
they might come later this year, but I doubt it'll make the.
No,
game.
It's not going to be this year. I did see something interesting. Somebody put up a piece today that was about what the 10 best-selling Star Wars games are of all time, and at least 4 of them were Lego games, of course. But and
great.
2. First and third were Battlefront, but 2nd and 4th were those Cal Kestis games.
They're both great games, arguably some of the best.
Carlos brings up this excellent point that Obi-Wan and Yoda changed the alert in episode 3 in the Jedi Temple to warn the other Jedi to fuck off.
Right.
Oh, one thing in theory crafting that we didn't.
You think that's what the message said?
Yeah.
Everybody fuck off. Don't come to
guys, just hide in a cave and some shit. One thing of theory crafting that we didn't touch on was that it is implied that Maul gave Devin that dream of the statue of where to meet up.
Yeah.
And planted that into her head. So she had that dream, which people were tracing that back to a technique that Palpatine probably taught him. And people saying that Palpatine probably gave Anakin all those dreams about, Padme dying in pregnancy and all that. And he's been manipulating him for a while. So that's an interesting possible dark side power that we have not seen before.
Manipulation.
Dream manipulation. I wonder if the Emperor says it like that before he does it. It is time for dream manipulation.
He's got a cool Freddy Krueger sweatshirt.
God, what is that from?
I don't know. Was that from something? Dream manipulation.
I feel like it was mind manipulation.
Sure. That could possibly
got
work.
nothing.
Yeah. It sounds like some silly power thing in some fantasy movie. I don't know. I almost want to say Time Bandits, where
I was thinking it was the Mind Taker from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, but it's not.
Carlos says not only the Padme dreams, but also the Shmi ones in episode 2.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true. And him killing the Sand People, that could be the demarcation of when he was when he turned to the dark side, even though he fought it off. One last thing, we've said that there's not a lot of time between the end of this series in Solo and the end of Solo to his death and Tatooine, but we've seen Filoni stretch out the Clone Wars for multiple seasons. So if anyone can,
but also don't forget, if you're doing 10 episodes of a TV show, that can span 3 years or a day.
Yeah.
So I mean, literally everything in this show took place over the course of a couple days. So it's easy for them to put multiple shows, especially because it's animation. It's not like Gideon Adlon, who does Devin's voice, is going to get older and age out of the role.
Which I hope the kids in the Skeleton Crew age out of their roles, so I never have to see them again. Because they suck.
So real quick, just because I don't know as much as you guys do, how does Maul die on Tatooine?
I will send you a link.
Chokes on a chicken bone.
He
It's the weirdest thing, right? You think you would have been able to force it?
Slip and fall. He got out of the bathtub. There was no bath mat.
Crazy.
Broke his hip. Next thing you know.
Don't talk about slip and falls. I do too much work for personal injury lawyers, and it makes me want to chop off my head with a lightsaber. Probably shouldn't have said that in a live stream.
Don't do that.
He tracks down Obi-Wan on Tatooine, and they have one last fight, which I will send you a link for because I just think it's so good.
Okay.
But when he's looking for him, when he's stuck in Tatooine, he has this Kenobi scream, which is so good. And I loved watching Sam Witwer recording it. They showed footage of it, and it.
Okay.
He's so cool.
Yes, please link me. I will watch it.
Yes, it's the sand.
It's the sand, of course, and it gets everywhere.
I hate sand. Imagine if Anakin was just like that about all that. I hate salt water. It gets my sodium levels up. Sounds like Ross from Friends.
Totally. Or Snuffy from Sesame Street.
So, guys, I think that will be a wrap on our review of Maul Shadowlord Season 1. I think we all very much love the series and want to see more. Paul and I will be back tomorrow with our friend Michael talking about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Yes.
Fun times.
Mac and I will be back next week where we're going to talk about Punisher, One Last Kill. Hey, Paul, you want to do that one too?
Sure. I'll be watching it.
So guys, don't forget to
keep calling it One Last Kiss, but
One Last Kiss. Isn't that from Bye Bye Birdie?
That releases on video too. That releases on VHS 1 month later.
Yes. So guys, thanks for watching our review. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Paul's gonna make hearts out of thin air like a Saja boy. Look at that. Well, I gotta see you next time, guys.